So now we are finished with the sketch. You can see all the details. And the next step is I'm using the eraser to make the dark line, pencil lines brighter. So here I want to show you my palette, my watercolor palette. See, like it's important the exactly way that your watercolor tubes is in the packages, so it's like blue and then purple, green. It's in a like organized way, so you can put all your watercolor tubes at the same way they are in the package on your palette, like this. So as you see, these are dry, but I spray water on them and I can use them again. So here's where I make the colors on these areas. And a bowl of water, spray of water, and my brushes. And here are the watercolor tubes. So this is the palette, the package I mean, that I bought them. So I didn't change the areas of the colors. They're on the same way that they were at first. So at the same way, I just split them through the palette as the way I showed you before. So now we erase like the whole paper because we don't want to see the black pencils, I mean shades on the paper, like, so you can't see it through the camera, but we need to like do it all over the paper. Okay, so now I use the sponge. I just place it in my water bowl so it's wet. Now you can see the water in the sponge. So I use it all over the paper. So I need to add, before I was using the sponge for all over the paper to make textures on the paper, first you just take your paper out of the board. So I don't use any tape. Just take it out of the board and put it under the sink. Put your paper whole under the water sink. I mean, just open the water through it from the front and the other side of the paper. Just make it whole wet and then place it on your board. And after that, use a sponge to spread the water all over the paper. So first I'm using this paintbrush. For the background, we want to make the first layer. It has like a fall texture color. You can see them behind the trees. And so it's important to like do your touches very quickly. Yeah, I'm just making all the colors in my palette that I showed you. Okay. So you can see how like the colors are spreading down and getting faded because the paper is wet. Okay, so here's grass like that, and a little bit more green color in the trees here. sometimes you can play with with your hairbrush. Like, you can make them in different ways to make different textures. See, I'm using the point of the brush for it. Okay, the first layer must have to be very more faded than the second layer and the third layer. So in watercolor, we have totally 3 different layers. This is the first layer. And what I mostly do is like, so I try to finish the painting, the all 3 layers. And when the paper is wet, there are different ways to finish up your painting. Like, you can paint the first layer and then you can dry it with a dryer. You can dry your paper and then you can start another layer, but I'm not using that technique. So you can use the spray here a little bit. So I want it to come down, like the colors come down like this. See, the angle I'm using the spray is like that. See, like this. So here is what we want to start the water. I'll change my brush. I want to use this one so you can see. This is not a natural hairbrush. It's artificial, but it's very useful. First we use the most brightest color. So the brightest color in this painting is yellow. Okay, here. Yeah, I just have my picture in the front of me. So now I'll try to use the blue color with this round brush. I mix blue with a little bit green, so to make it brighter I use the white gouache. Yeah. So I want to make the water reflects all over here. So you can see how I'm grabbing the brush, like not here, not in the middle, here. Like you have to handle your brush here in the, like where the number is. Okay, so we have a little blue texture here. Yeah. So in the corners, this part, we have to make the darkest shades. The darkest blue that we can use for this part. So see how we're using it. Like that. Okay. This corner, we try to use the most darkest orange yellow reflections that we use for the water here in the corner. So we use a little bit brown color for that. Okay. Yeah, and don't be afraid to do brave touch. Just do the strongest touch as you can. So don't be afraid that you will destroy your paper. You can just start it over and start a new one. The spray again. I will spray it on the duck, so we're gonna start to paint the duck. Okay, you can spray all over the other areas here, down here, and yeah. So also I want to spray here the up part of the painting where the trees are, because I want to work on it after I started the first layer on the duck. So I'm choosing the round brush again, the medium size, this one. So now I need to add, so here is the farthest part of our perspective, and we keep the white shadows here till down till this part. So we will try to not lose these white areas that it can show us the perspective of the whole painting. So now I'm starting from the duck's head. Sorry, the duck's head. Okay, so just use strong touches like this. Yeah, don't be afraid at all. So sometimes we can use a napkin for here that's coming out of the lines like this. Okay. Okay. So the yellow part. Okay. Okay, we just want to take this color piece out of it. There's no worries, so when you make a mistake, you can easily fix it. But the hard part of watercolor is like it's not similar of oil painting, because oil painting, so if you made a mistake, you can just use the white color as an eraser and you can erase the areas that you think so you don't like it or it's a mistake. But you cannot do that for watercolor. What you can do is before it dries, you can use a napkin, like napkin, and okay, so you can remove some parts that you feel like it doesn't seem right to you, correct to you. Okay, making texture of the feathers. Yeah, see, okay, very easy. It's very easy. Just need to practice, practice and practice, and you will get used to it. Just you need to know how to play with your paper. I mean, watercolor paper are different qualities, and the way that you have to paint on them are different too. So at the end of the video, I will show you the kind of paper I'm using, that I really like it. I mean, for me, I find it well. So I use the white gouache. Now I have the white gouache. I will use it, see, beside the brown color I use, and sometimes I will like dip it in the brown color. So now I have brown color in my brush. See, I can use the brown here and here. So I'm taking the brown color and using it here like that. So I'm trying it to look like real feathers. So we still have the white gouache in our on the point of our brush. Okay, so I will use it here, this part. taking a little bit blue color and the white gouache, also blue and white, in my brush like this. Okay. So you have to pay attention to the directions of the feathers, that which way they are going, so you use your brush in that angle. The angle that you use with your brush is important. So okay, the bright colors, we're done with the bright colors. So now I will start to go on the second layer of the duck. So I'll start the dark green areas on the head. So I will make a dark green in my palette. Okay, it's ready. Now here. Okay, so I'm using blue and dark green. Ultramarine blue. They call it ultramarine blue. So it seems to me the paper is getting a little bit dry on the top of the head, so I will use the spray now again. Make it darker. Okay, so spray. Can see like it's coming out of the line, so I can use the tissue here. Okay, fix it. So no worries, no worries. Okay. Trying to show, to dark up the lines between the feathers. So very gently touches with the point of the brush. Okay. Yeah, we have to make this part super dark like this, and here, and all around the head. So gentle touch like this to show the feather textures. Okay, and so I need the tissue again here. See, it's coming out of the lines here. Okay. So I want to dark up here, this area. Okay, as you see, the paper is still wet. Here is wet. All the sections are still wet. Very gently touches here. And here. And like tiny little points all around feathers. The reflections of the water, because so the duck has reflects in the water, so I'm using the same color that I painted the feather, so I didn't make a new color. I'm just using the color that I already had in my brush to dark up the shadows like that. Okay, new color now, the blue shadows. Okay, so we don't want to lose the bright parts here. See, we have the under color, the first layer of bright colors. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to cover them up all with dark shadows. We still want to see them. Okay, so if I like this, we can